Live from the virtual Slinger Speedway, welcome race fans one and all to Greenflag TV, where tonight we get set to kick off the third running of the Greenflag Derby live from the Slinger Speedway. Apologies for the delay in action. We are, of course, we had some technical problems we had to work out here behind the scenes, but we are in action and ready to go, and we are just getting set to go racing for heat race number 1 here tonight. We'll take a quick rundown of the format for tonight. It'll be one heat race, and all competitors will lock their way into the main event. So it is a 10-lap heat race followed by a 30-minute main event here tonight. So we're just waiting on the last few drivers to grid on up, but I can tell you right now, it is going to be, we're in for a wild, wild race here tonight. Zach Orange is on the pole, Brad Slagle in second, Billy Braun third, Justin Wilson fourth, Katie Roberts fifth, Penn Sauter in sixth, Matthew Miles, Spencer Bass, Zane Bailey, Gage Wenzel, Barron Morton, Joseph Pritzblinski, Charles Root, Thomas Lane Jr., Darren Miller, Stephen Purcell, and Dalton Kilrow will be the 17 cars that will look to duke it out from the Slinger Speedway here tonight. So we're going to get right into racing action. The 31 going to jump the start, as will the 5, as will the 08. As we'll get ourselves to racing action for the Slinger Speedway. The third season of Derby is underway, and already Zach Orange has turned right out of the gate. And Brad Slagle will now inherit the race lead for heat race number 1 as he fires it across the racetrack. We are 3 wide, ducking around to turn numbers 3 and 4. One more car getting spun around, and it is a complete madhouse as chaos breaks loose from the Slinger Speedway early on, as racing action will be looking to continue here tonight. A lot of drivers here are going to be, shall we say, in some bad ways after this race, as heat racing action continues. At the moment, Brad Slagle with the heat race lead, but you've got big pile-ups over there in turn numbers 3 and 4. $40 will be the prize here tonight as we enter this one pretty much in the thick of all the action. Brad Slagle pretty much uncontended at the moment as he's fired it across the X, and now we'll start to lap some more of the drivers in this field. Remember, this is a Derby. No penalty points for being wrecked out, and with that huge hit, that will allow, I believe it'll be Zane Bailey who will look to take through and steal the number 1 spot away. So Bailey takes the 20 car through, and he'll pick up the race lead. 6 laps to go in heat race number 1. As one by one, drivers continue to fire it across that X. 17 contenders here tonight. Dalton Kilrow in his 41 car will also take it to pit road, looking like Penn Sauter is down and effectively out. And all of this flip-flopping around you're seeing on the timing tower, well, that's all from drivers crossing over various score loops whenever they get punted off the racetrack. Watching the 11 of George Wenzel there, scored as the 45, and around we'll go the 10, and Zane Bailey going to get dumped out of the final corner. And that's going to create big problems at the X, and that is effectively half the field collected in a giant pile-up. And we got 2 drivers looking to come together on the back chute there from the Slinger Speedway. The 13 just escaping disaster, as I do believe that puts Spencer Best now into the heat race lead. And he's going to get taken out by Zane Bailey. Now, how about Barrett Morton? I believe he'll be the next driver up, but it will be Barrett Morton to take that race lead now in the Sergeant Truckett Junket machine, as he'll dive across the X with 3 to go. Back across the X, 2 laps to go for Barron Morton in his number 9 car, as we'll look to duck it across the racetrack, and now fires it back across, and right now the number 9 looking like he's the one to beat, and Purcell gonna try to upset the running order as Morton takes the final lap here from the Slinger Speedway. We work heat race number 1, and he'll take that one across the X for the final time, and looking like this is going to be all smooth sailing for Barron Morton. He'll cross start finish, and he will pick up the heat race win, and he'll be starting on pole for the main event here tonight. So heat racing action comes to a close. It's a very short heat racing program. So with all of that said and done, we'll finally get the chance here to kind of talk a little bit more about what this race is going to be like as we'll get set to work our way forward and into main event action in just a little while. As right now you're just watching the rest of the drivers looking to come across the start-finish stretch. But again, it's one of those really intense races, right? I mean, it's a demolition derby. You're trying to get whatever spots that you can possibly get. So at the moment, Baron Morton will be on that pole position. And by the way, if you're just joining us, welcome to Greenflag TV. My name is Noel Rempel. You missed about half the event so far. As we are into our third seasonal Greenflag Derby. My name is Noel Rempel, bringing you all the coverage here from start to finish on Greenflag TV. And it was a race that we weren't sure was going to go ahead. Typically, if a race has too few participants, we're not going to cover it, especially since this one all out of pocket. However, well, we got a big influx right at the buzzer, so we were able to get things back up and running and get to the show just in time for heat racing action. So that's what finds us now in a 3-minute warm-up session for the third seasonal Greenflag Derby. This was the Irwindale Derby, ran twice over the last 2 seasons over the course of 2023, and now we swing out to Slinger Speedway for the final race of the weekend. And of course, that will swing us back out to the Iowa Speedway tomorrow, where the High Tire Racing League MF Racing Designs Cup Series will return to racing action from that beautiful track in Newton, Iowa. But again, not Yellow Flag, but we got ourselves with a bit of a warm session, about a minute and a half before we get to proper racing action. So we're going to take a step back. You're watching the third season of Greenflag Derby on Greenflag TV. "30 seconds left to go before we will officially take things down to the green flag over here tonight from the Slinger Speedway. And it's going to be a wild 30 minutes. 17 cars will look set to duke it out here tonight. And it's going to look a little bit something like this when we go racing for main event action here in this one, as the checker flag will officially fall. So here's how everything lines on up as we get set to go racing here tonight from what should be a very thrilling ride from start to finish in this one. So on the pole here for your 30-minute main event, you're going to find yourself with the likes of Bear Morton, Spencer Bastown in second, Gage Wenzel is third, Charles Root is fourth, Brad Slagle is fifth, Dalton Kilrow sixth, Justin Wilson is seventh, Zane Bailey in eighth, Thomas Lane Jr. in ninth, Matthew Miles in 10th. Zach Orange is 11th, Stephen Purcell in 12th, Billy Braun 13th, Caden Roberts 14th, Penn Sauter in 15th, Joseph Przyplinski in 17th, and Darren Miller will be rounding out your 17-car field. So all that said and done, and you've got effectively just about everybody ready to rumble as they're starting to grid on up just shy of the X for the first time tonight, as Barrett Morton will have that inside track leading down into turn number 1, but will he stay there? That is ever going to be the big ticket question here tonight. It's a tough ride to try to keep it down on the bottom side of the racetrack, so we'll see if he'll be the one that'll lead us down and in towards turn number 1. Green flag's out. Purcell throws his car into reverse, but the battle is on for the lead as we duck into turn number 1. And at the moment, Spencer Bass taking the lead for the top shelf to get around Barrett Morton for the race lead across the X down to the turns number 3 and 4 for the first time today. This is where it's big, firing back across the X, and Purcell's in the way. Could we have some problems in the middle of the circuit? We're going to keep things clear for now, but oh boy, now everybody's spinning off, and this is going to be big trouble here. Oh, look out, the 10 getting turned at the tail end. And now double file again. Purcell sweeps across the track. He'll clean out Morton and more. Purcell really taking the demo derby part to heart, and just like he was in the first running of this series, playing spoiler for the rest of the field. Slagle getting dumped for the lead. That was by the 5 of Penn Sauter, and that should, I believe, allow for Billy Braun to fire through to take up the race lead. We're just waiting on to see where Spencer Best is going to end up as time continues to run out. And here we go, another big pileup right in the center of the racetrack at that X mark. It's an ever complicated problem as the 10 getting wiped out. The problem with trying to get yourself with a good battle sorted, right, is the fact that there is no such thing as a good battle. Penn Sauter, believe him to be at the moment in that race lead as he is taking it down to the inside of turn numbers 1 and 2, and he currently leads the way through the final couple of corners. He's almost going to get wiped out by the 69 of Charles Root. So cycle up through turn numbers 1 and 2 and back across the X mark. There you see that green and yellow Cole trickle machine working to the inside of the racetrack, and now even more problems. You got one car sitting right up there by pit exit. Zane Bailey will get nicked by Billy Braun. Got a good battle for the lead though. Penn Sauter and Spencer Best are going at it, and Stefan Purcell is trying to disrupt the party. And Best is smoking, so that car's going to have to take it to pit road before too long. Into the pits goes Gage Wenzel. Here comes Sauter as the 41 of Dalton Kilroe slides across. Penn Sauter working his way up from the back of the field, started 15th, and already not even 5 minutes deep is up and into the race lead and relatively uncontended. Now these drivers do have quick repairs to get themselves back into contention for racing action here tonight, but they do have to cycle into pit road to do so, and that will cost you big time. Several laps down already for a good number of drivers as we'll try to take a look at the gaps, and that'll give you a good idea of where everything is at as the 24 of Justin Wilson spins it out, and he's going to get drilled by Steph Purcell, ever the troublemaker, as he's going to throw that car into reverse and start backing it up through turn numbers 3 and 4. So, well, Purcell evidently not one to take such events so seriously. I mean, hey, there's no rules for on-track conduct, so you do what you got to do if you got to have some fun out there on the racetrack. Penn Sauter continuing to lead the way. Brad Slagle 16 seconds back in the number 2 spot. And it's sounding like there's some good carnage everywhere, but this is usually just drivers trying to cause some mess of their own, as there's Purcell sliding to the track. Couldn't make any kind of move. He's hunting, though. That 57 car is always looking to see if he can't upset somebody's day. And it might be the day for the 13 here in just a moment. Yes, it is, as he's going to run the 13 car into the wall and up on top of the wall as Spencer Best getting collected with big trouble. He's going to tag Zane Bailey as well as Brad Slagle and send the both of them around. Gage Wenzel now under fire by Zane Bailey. This is the battle for 7th as they work their way across the X, and that 45 car, put it mildly, it's seen better days. He's going to break into 6th with a bit of an overtake on the racetrack. Looking like Darren Miller and Joseph Pritzblinski will both be down and out of the race. They have not opted to even take to the green flag. Zach Orange at the moment, the driver that is down the most laps. He has only made 2.5 circuits so far compared to Ben Sauter, who's already lapped this track a good 15 times. And Brad Slagle at the moment, the next closest driver in second, but he is down 2 laps. So right now, some big trouble is needed for Penn Sauter, if these guys want to get back into contention for those $40 dues at the end of the night. The 08 car, Caden Roberts with the broken toe link, is going to slide into pit road. And I tell you right now, I mean, this is how we can expect to see this race pan out throughout the duration of this event, right? Just non-stop chaos and carnage for the Enduro. Charles Root will take up the race lead, albeit with a busted left front. 3 laps down as well from Penn Sauter, so still trying to see if he can't get some more time going for him as well. As, oh boy, Stefan Purcell, fresh out of pit road, brand new race car, and he's got the race leaders in his sights. I'd watch out if I was Penn. Purcell to the inside, he's going to try to clean him out, and he will get, well, a bit of an assist there at least, as Penn Sauter eventually gets finished off. And I believe that may have been Matthew Miles that took him out, but not enough to upset his charge for the lead. Penn Sauter will continue his drive up at the sharp end of the field. You hear the crunching of sheet metal on these on the harsh banking transitions here. These drivers just try to pick their way around slowly but surely. Zane Bailey and Baron Moritz, the pole sitter, in a bit of a side-by-side battle as Bailey's slowing up. He's taking to pit road. He is not sure what Bailey's trying to do here. Or maybe just prepping for the X, as, oh boy, is that the 69 car that's in a bit of a bad way further up the road? That's Charles Root, and he's going to be forced into pit road. Oh, and the 45 getting into the mix, and he'll be able to reset. There's your race leader, Penn Sauter. 4 laps down, but still pushing for it. As Sauter been around, he's in a bit of a train of cars here. This is always a risky place to find yourself stuck in, especially if somebody doesn't quite like the fact that you're leading this race. And curious enough, the 13 car lets him go. The 31 just behind, getting put up and into the wall. That was Billy Broad. That kind of got bumped up and into the mix, and he's going to try to clean out Stefan Purcell here. Purcell, I have a feeling, going to take him out right back and repay the favor as you work into the X. Oh, never mind, he'll do it themselves as we got a mess over here at the X. Zane Bailey gets clipped. And so far, so clean. But I can tell you what, it's, well, I say it's not looking good. It's about on par, really. Somebody's motor's just expired over here towards the X. Penn Sauter, in the meantime. Oh, big hit there. That was with the 0-8 of Roberts. Purcell finishes it up. Could that be the move that takes Sauter down a peg or two? Black flags do not get clear, so he might be forced in a pit road out of that. Dalton Kilrose picked up the number 2 spot, and I think that car is going to be damaged enough that he is going to be forced to take that car to the lane, especially with a secondary impact at the side of Dalton Kilroe. And Purcell goes after the 5 again, so the race leader under heavy fire. Kilrose still 4 down, but on the racetrack, and now running down time with Sauter having all of that damage on the side of that number 5. Well, Purcell tried to go for him there, and there it is. Sauter going to be forced to pit. He's actually going to have to reverse as he's not able to get in a pit road. He'll make it in there. The 31 car in the same position. So now Dalton Kilroe has got a lot of ground to make up, but with Sauter in the pits, it's a lot more doable. So Kilroe will be only 2 laps down, and he's hunting for the race lead with a serious shot at taking him by the time Sauter leaves pit road. Oh, and around will go Kilroe. That's not going to help his chances. He'll get himself back sorted, and he'll have to rejoin the proper way of the racetrack. And Purcell, I'm not sure what Stefan Purcell's doing. He is waiting on somebody, though. Sauter is back out of pit road, and Kilroe now only 1 down. So the gap is closed, but it has not closed enough, and oh boy, Purcell going to take Sauter out for a second time, and that was up into turn numbers 1 and 2. Take a look at the secondary impact here as Penn Sauter gets wiped out. And this is by Stefan Purcell up into turn number 1. That could be the gap that Kilroe needed. And it's just full throttle them into the turn number 3 right there. Kind of got pushed out of the way. We'll see how that's going to handle everything, though, as, whoa, boy, oh, boy. Thomas Lane Jr. getting nicked and Sauter being bullied around. He's into pit road again. That will give the lead. No, it will not, as Kilroe is in a pit road. So Kilroe couldn't make it. Slagle now, the next driver on the racetrack, but he's got heavy damage. He's going to be forced into pit road before too long. How's Zane Bailey looking? Bailey's looking fine and also sitting only 3 laps down. So Zane Bailey, I do believe, might be the next big contender for the race lead, with Slagle going to be forced into pit road. especially since he was beating and banging with the 38 of Thomas Lane Jr. Oh, but Bailey's going to get taken out by Lane as he's trying to make it to pit road. Goes for a 360 slide, gets it back rolling. We are, meanwhile, 10 minutes deep into a 30-minute main event with only 19 and a half minutes to go. Slagle's into pit road. Kilrow getting wiped out, and that's over in turn 3. Sorry, no, that's in turns 1 and 2 for the figure 8 as he's going to duck back across the X and makes hard contact with Spencer Best and his number 13. Penn Sauter slicing and dicing, trying to run away from the field as the whole field trying to run him down. And oh boy, it is a slugfest, and at the moment it is open season on Penn Sauter. He's going to get pushed around by the 0-8 of Roberts again by the 30. Purcell and the 24 both come flying in with some good old right hooks from stage right as the 24 Justin Wilson Purcell ganging up on Penn Sauter. Kilrow back onto the lead lap, and the fight is on for the lead. Kilrow getting bullied out by the 24, and he's going to repay the favor. Not looking to be caught up at all, and whoa, boy. Bit of a jam up at the X, but we're able to survive that deal as now Dalton Kilrow trying to funnel his way around. And I do believe Bear Morton's just been riding along the wall here for the last little while, and now the 24, Justin Wilson's got a lot of heavy damage, so he's going to have to be forced off into the lane. Stephen Purcell is kind of collected as the 13 stopped up high, and we got a traffic jam at pit entry where no drivers seem to be able to quite get through. Not necessarily ideal if you're trying to pit in, but that's going to get itself sorted before too long. Kilrow and all of that chaos took over the race lead as the race leader found himself knocked down and out. So now Penn Sauter is down and into pit road, and well, he has been in there for a good while now. We're talking 53 seconds in the pits, and that tells me he had a black flag to serve, and he didn't serve it. The 41 just clotheslined somebody coming around the turn numbers 3 and 4. Purcell stopped, middle of the track, throws it in reverse. He's going to go into first gear just so he can go and clean out the 0-8. Purcell is waiting. I mean, he is just here to cause problems. And, oh, there it is. Collects 1, 2, 3 at the X. Make it 4. He's going to throw that car into reverse. And, oh, where is he going to go? Oh, he tried to avoid him and just couldn't do it. Meanwhile, Penn Sauter nosing it face first into the tire bundles there, and there's another hip check, and we got somebody else that's Caden Roberts that's taking the Purcell strategy and just driving around this track backwards at the moment as he's going to run through turns 3 and 4. Boy, there's nothing like some good old wrecking on a Sunday night. And at the moment, Stephen Purcell really seems to be the police officer on the track, but he is retired into pit road, so we'll see if he can get back out on the racetrack and create some more carnage. His next target will be the likes of Dalton Kilrow. Runs in the race lead by 2 laps. Oh boy, Zane Bailey just got clocked. There's a few cars that got clocked over there in turn number 1, and among those was the 13 of Spencer Best. Oh, and big trouble, I think, for Justin Wilson there. That was working middle of the way through, and it was. Take a look with what happened to Wilson. This is working through turn numbers 1 and 2, and right there, oh, a big shunt, and then gets up into the wall. He's going to slide across, and wham! Just got carried up and over, then went nose first hard into that outside wall. Halfway home, 15 minutes to go in your 30-minute main event for the 3rd seasonal Greenflag Derby here on Greenflag TV, and boy, oh boy, it is what a time it has been so far for us here tonight. I mean, this has been, frankly, it's been fantastic. And I hope that everybody's been having as much fun as I have trying to call this chaos. There really is no way to properly commentate over chaos like this. There's just speak what you see. That's pretty much all there is to it. There's not a whole lot you can say about an event like this. Oh boy, just barely avoided this. This is Matthew Miles, and he's got Ben Sauter tucked up behind. 69 car of Charles Root is out of pit road, and around goes the 30 as the 69 hunting down Sauter. Purcell, he's done the deed. He's taken out Kilrow, trying to take out Kilrow, forces him into the exit. Oh boy, a big coming together, and now Kilrow's car is junked. 4 laps clear at the moment from Zane Bailey, and Ben Sauter repaying that favor as well as Dalton Kilrow. Oh, he's going to take him right back into turn number 1. Upset Sauter. Now, Bailey is the second place runner right behind Kilrow, but behind by 4 laps. So it's not an easy task for Bailey to get around. That is the 45. Getting spun middle of the field. Purcell going to go up and over middle of the X as he's going to slide to a stop. And I think may have just survived that, but remember, he's out for blood, and he's targeting Dalton Kilrow. Before it's take the toe, though, couldn't make it around. It's not going to stop them from battling, though, to keep Bailey 4 laps down as Kilrow fires across the X of the 45, again getting drilled. That was Gage Wenzel that got struck. Surprised Kilrow is still out on the racetrack and has not been forced down into pit road a bit more frequently over the course of the evening here as he's, well, he's going to take out the 13 of Spencer Best right there, so he's still not making friends on the racetrack. And I got a feeling that the next couple of minutes, Kilrow is going to get dogpiled. He's going to spin it out of the X, and sure enough, the 13 trying to come back at him. No one was able to go for the move there. He's going to rejoin right at turn numbers 1 and 2, and oh, the 08 tried to send it in. Back to the X, this time by. He still makes it out. He has not been able to get so steady. Now, Stephen Purcell is leaving pit road. So the enforcer is about to return to the racetrack. And he's got Dalton Kilrow in his mirrors. And Kilrow knows it. He doesn't want to get around. Oh, he's just able to juke out Stephen Purcell. Good show there from Dalton Kilrow. Oh, and he's going to just get missed. Oh, there goes Purcell right across, and there it is. Takes him out. Purcell was not going to let that lie as Kilrow spun around, putting Bailey only 3 down. But that's still a very, very long way to go. Right now, the 41 car with the biggest target on his back. Funneling back across the X here this time by, and Purcell is there once again. Will he go to take out Kilrow? He thought about it, couldn't get there. Oh, Justin Wilson and Barry Morton making contact. And, well, there's Purcell sliding it up and wide. Wasn't able to make that lunge as he will instead find the turn 3 wall. Oh, he's slowing here, though. He knows what's about to happen. We know what's about to happen. Oh, there's a big hit. Barry Morton getting into a big time with Justin Wilson and one other car. Oh, and another nasty shunt. This time Purcell getting kicked around. The 08. Caden Roberts spun wide in the 1 and 2. Gonna wipe out the 30 again of Matthew Miles. And at this point, now just doing donuts over at turn 1. Kilrow's in a pit road, but as is Zane Bailey. Barry Morton now trying to get into the fray. 6 laps down and trying to close. Being pushed up wide by the 69, and Morton's not going to fight him. He's going to let Ruth through as Morton nailed by Justin Wilson. 10 minutes to go. And I think that 9 car may very well be broke. Purcell, he stopped that pit exit. That would have been hilarious if he had just stayed there to block the pit exit lane. Is gravy. We're just able to get around that. Brad Slago spinning around. He's going to make more contact with Morton, and they'll both funnel into pit road. Morton's actually into the pit wall. That's not the line, my friend, as Morton is, well, he's going to find the lane there. Justin Wilson will go with him. So Kilrow remains in the race lead, 3 laps ahead of Zane Bailey, but still with a lot of race left. And already that car is looking worse for wear. Word for Spencer Basketball why he is not in the race. Disqualified for not serving a black flag that he didn't know he had. So some misfortune there. Kilrow gets dunked by Slagle. Not going to mean a whole lot, though, if he's able to recover, which he has. You really got to disable that 41 car if you want to make something happen here for Zane Bailey. Right now, it is Kilrow looking to be the next driver out. Well, Purcell went for the lunge, but he's going to find the pit wall instead. Slago tried to jump on the binders. Everybody's out for that 41 car now. And no one else. Oh, just going to avoid the 5 of Penn Sauter. Won't avoid him that time, though, as that's going to be a big hit. That could be the disabling hit for the 41 cars. It looks like he is struggling to get that car turned in. Well, he's able to get it there. Justin Wilson, though, and Steph Purcell are both right here. Purcell going to try to go for the lunge, although he's not able to really go full foot to the floor. He's, in fact, going to get taken out by Zane Bailey instead. Kilrow. Doing a fine job on avoiding disaster here for the most part, as he's going to work up to the high side of turn numbers 3 and 4 and down for 1. But here is Purcell. There's the hit, and that's going to knock Kilrow into the outside wall, but minimal damage at this point in time as Kilrow, with the race lead, will funnel into pit road, and that might be it. Here goes Zane Bailey, 2 down. And closing in his bid for the lead, and in fact the win. At this point, it's a battle between Kilrow and Bailey. I think Matthew Miles, 9 laps out, might be a bit too far back to make something happen in this race. Dives across the X, 6.5 minutes to go. Bear Morton fires to the inside, as here goes the 20, right next to Kilrow, and now onto the lead lap. Kilrow, though, trying to hunt down the 20 to put him down a lap again. Oh, and he's going to have Slago do it for him as Slago gets cleaned out. Slago going to get himself back, refired, and rejoin the track, but Kilrow now has a lap gap over Zane Bailey. And it's again the question of, can anybody stop the 41? Except Purcell. Meanwhile, he's gonna, I don't know what he's doing. He's waiting on somebody, I can tell you that much. I'm not sure if he knows who he's waiting on. There's Justin Wilson that gave a tag there. There's Baron Morton going by. I wonder if Purcell is waiting on Kilrow. Although I say that, Kilrow's actually lost. Well, he's got Bailey back onto the lead lap, so something has happened to Kilrow in the last little while. And now Bailey is pulling to a stop. And that lets Kilrow back through. And he's in the pit road. Right, interesting call there, as Purcell looking like he may have just tangled with Matthew Miles. But I believe that might give Kilrow the win here, unless somebody can really take that 41 car out. Oh, Stefan tried. He aimed for that back bumper. just couldn't get in there. It's going to come from a big hit at the X, and oh boy, Purcell just took a left turn at the X, and he has taken a toe. So that might be game over for Purcell's night. As Dalton Kilrow sends it around, Wilson will take out Baron Morton at the X mark. As he funnels across that center portion of the racetrack, one car getting picked out, that's the 08. Justin Wilson getting collected. There goes the 08. He's going to take out the 41 in Kilrow. Zane Bailey gets through. Now only 3 down, 4 minutes to go. It's still not over. If someone can get to the 41. And Zane Bailey has a shot. There it is. Wilson takes out Dalton Kilrow. This could be race impacting. Can he hang on as long as he has to before he takes that checkered flag? Everyone's gunning for the 41 car at the moment. Kilrow is in full survival mode. Three minutes left to go. Kilrow continuing to hang on with a busted race car. Oh, Purcell went for it. Tried to go for the killer head on. Could not get there. 3 minutes to go, and at the moment, Kilrow is finding all the gaps he needs to. I thought it might be a race for Pensarna, but it looks like it'll be a race for Dalton Kilrow as he's taken out with 2 different cars at the X, and it might be a third as Purcell going to sweep back across the track. Swing and a miss as the 57 goes into the wall. 2.5 minutes down. Oh, he tried it again. I mean, Kilrow, I'll tell you what, he's got some good evasive maneuvers, though, as now he is forced to pit road from meatball flag. 2 minutes to go, and this is Zane Bailey's chance. 2 down now, was 3 down. Oh, he's running to the wall by Baron Morton. If he can just get himself back up around the racetrack, he has a shot. 2 laps down, 2 minutes to go, but I think that, oh, yeah, he is hurt. He is broke on the right front. That 20 car not looking good. Oh, and that is it. Game over. Good night, sunshine for Zane Bailey. He'll have to come to pit road now. There's no way as Purcell gets turned around in turn 3. Kilrow back onto the racetrack, and he'll regain a near 2-lap gap, although he's going to get spun out by Brad Slagle again with 1.5 minutes and being bullied about right now. I don't see anything stopping, though, Kilrow's momentum to take this win. Oh, slides into the X. That's a dangerous place to be stopped, but luckily not at a time when anybody's around him. So 1 minute to go, about 3 laps to go. Bailey is back into pit road, and now it is a 6-lap gap back to Brad Slagle. That, to me, is spelling game over. There's not enough time for Slagle to run that gap down, even if Kilrow pulled it off here. Oh, no, a hit from Stefan Purcell is going to dislodge the left front. And, okay, wow, he's going to still try to drive through it. 30 seconds to go. He knows he's got a 3-lap gap. If he can get around, he can make this work. 22 seconds. This will be the final lap here, this time by potentially, as he swings it around through turn numbers 1 and 2. And dives into 3 and 4, still with that broken tire. Oh, Purcell gives another knock to the back bumper, and another hit by the 08, another hit by Brad Slagle. The dog pile commences, has that disabled kill row. It has not, but they are trying to knock the 41 car out of this race on the final lap. He's got 2 corners to go if he wants to get the $40, and he's forced into pit road. Zane Bailey will come home, and I believe it'll be a second place finish for Bailey, as Kilrow will not be able to take the checkered flag, I don't think. Although officially nobody has taken the checkered flag as of yet, so this race is somehow still on, even after the checkered flag is waving. I'm not sure how Iverson is going to score this, because theoretically Kilrow should be in the with the win, but at the moment, no one is taking the checkered flag according to our timing systems. Kilrow back across the X for the final time. Everyone's still trying to take him out. This time it is all for naught, and it's looking like Kilrow will somehow hang on for the win at the end of the night in the Irwindale Derby. But holy cow. What a wild way to close out racing action tonight. Are we still going? What is going on? We are somehow still racing, I think, as he is going to be turned across the start-finish line. And I do believe we have, in fact, gotten our post-race results. So our software is going ballistic, but the race has come to a close. So all this is just post-race shenanigans at this point in time. Looking, though, like it may very well have been Dalton Kilrow to take the race win at the end of the night, as we'll get a rundown of those results up on your screens now. And it was Dalton Kilrow taking the win by 2 laps over Zane Bailey. He will get $40 in iRacing credits at the end of the night. The third-place driver, Brad Slade, goes down to 3rd. Barry Morton at 4th. Matthew Miles 5th. Justin Wilson 6th. Caden Roberts 7th. Charles Root 8th. Penn Sauter and Gage Wenzel will round out the top 10. Spencer Best was 11th. 7 Purcell and 12th. Thomas Lane Jr., Billy Braun, Zach Orange, Joseph Pritzblinski, and Darren Miller all not finishing racing action here tonight. Well, it's not the way we expected this race to pan on out. At first, it was a question of if we'd be able to get a race in at all. But we managed to get the race in, and what a race it was. And coming on up next week, you got the High Tide Racing League MF Racing Designs Cup Series. That'll be down at the Iowa Speedway on Monday night. The Friday night LTEC All-Street Media Cup Series returns to the Rockingham Speedway for the first time in a couple of seasons. They'll take off for race number 11 on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then the TNGGIL Super Speedway Blitz kicks off the second half of their season as those swing on down to Alabama to the biggest, the baddest track on the NASCAR circuit, the Talladega Super Speedway. For now, though, here from Greenflag TV and the 3rd seasonal Irwindale Derby, what a night it has been. Once again, my name is Manola Rambo, bringing you all of the coverage here tonight from start to finish. We'll see you all next time tomorrow night when we go racing in Iowa.